So hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to show how to install FreeBSD in Proxmox. Let's see how to do it. I just recently installed Proxmox. Go to the web interface. It's the first time that I'm going to access this. 192.168.2.189 port 8006. I log in as root. Okay, you do not have a valid subscription. We are going to try to fix that. We go here, we start, so we select the Proxmox and open a shell. And now we are root in the machine and we go to user, share, JavaScript, Proxmox widget tool. So once we change to this directory, I'm going to search for valid subscription. So grep -rne, valid subscription here. And I have a couple of files. Yeah, actually there are not too many. So I'm just going to do this pipe sort unique. So there are two files that we have to look at, which is proxmox-lib.js and proxmox-min.js. So I think VI is not installed, Vim by default. So VI proxmox-lib.js and set ignore case. Yeah, valid subscription. You do not have a valid subscription, please visit, etc. No key, okay. No valid subscription. Here is the place. So I'm going to delete everything here inside this. Delete inside, and if false. Let's just go for this for the time being. I guess that's where the window is. Valid subscription. The second time was okay. Here, okay, this looks good. Equals result. If this result is not null, and something. Status lowercase, then do here. So let's put here false and something here. Okay. Now systemctl, restart, PVE. First, let's log out from here just to make sure that everything is fine. So log out. Yep. PVE proxy.service. So it should restart the system. Okay, connection closed. That's good. Root and password. Let's see. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. So, okay. Now what we need to do is to download FreeBSD. We can get here the link for the DVD. So we copy the link. Go to local ISO images, download from URL. We paste here and we give it this name. Download. Now we just need to wait a little bit. All right. So we have the file here. We see it in our repository, and now in our server we just need to create a new virtual machine. Node is in Proxmox. Let's call it FreeBSD 14.2. So next we are going to use an image. So storage local, the image is the one we just downloaded. This is other operating system. For the graphics card, we can, for this case, we can select the VirtIO GPU. The SCSI controller, let's leave it in single. And here the CBIOS, that's okay. Next, here is good to have a SCSI disk. So actually, let me take out for the operating system. Let's first not use any media. Let's go here for the disks. Let's put a ZFS, and I'm going to put here 200 gigabytes. Should be fine. Or let's make a round number, 256 gigabytes. The CPU, I'm going to select 2 cores, 2 sockets, and leave the rest alone. And for the memory, 65536, 60 gigabytes of memory, 64. Network, we can actually, the para-virtualized I think is better and faster, and we should be good to go here. Now in the machine, we go to the hardware, add a CD, and here we can select this to be a SCSI, storage local, FreeBSD, and just confirm that in the order, the boot order, double click here, that the CD-ROM is fine here. So no, actually we have an IDE drive that should not be there. So console IDE, so remove this IDE, should not be there. I want everything SCSI, and now it's not correct, so we have to put this, let's move it up here, so it's the boot order goes first to the ISO media, and I think it should all be good, so we can start the machine. Let's install the system. Here is the standard installation for FreeBSD, not much to see. So we shut down the machine, and we do this because here in the options, in the hardware, we should now remove the disk and say do not use any media, so it doesn't boot again the installation media. Let's start the machine. And there we go. We have a system that is currently installed. Let me log in as root, and let's do the first thing. So one of the things that I would like to have, C shell, yeah. Okay. I'm going to, so accessing the system as like this is not so nice. So we are going to set up a VNC server. And for that, pkg install xrdp xorg tiger VNC server, and let's first install the package. Yes. Okay, now I forgot to install another thing. Install xfc, which I also like quite a lot. Okay, good. Let's also get Vim installed. because that's the best text editor, as we all know. And let's edit the user local etc xrdp xrdp.ini. We are going to search for delay milliseconds, and here we're going to enable this small delay because it improves stability a little bit. For the root user, I'm going to use add a file, start window manager.shell, and start xfce4. And to fix the prompt, the login prompt, we're going to, otherwise it just gets a hash sign. We're going to see that under etc passwd, root is currently using the sh. Let's install a nice shell, bash, and change shell for the root, and here user local bin bash, and just to confirm, root, and it logs in as bash. We have the start window manager, which we we add X, so it should be red, yes, because now it has the executable bit. It's set as executable. Now sysrc xrdp enable is yes, and the says man enable, and we also need the dbus for xfce, dbus service xrdp, xrdp start sysman. Okay, sysman start, it's not, so it should be with a dash, yes. Service dbus start, starting dbus. Okay, so from this side all is looking fine. So now I start a terminal in my local machine, and one of the things that is good to have Mina is the remote desktop. So this is already installed from my system, so I just need to call it Mina. Okay, so, and let's do an if config in the machine here, and this machine has the IP address, the 2197. Let's just ping 192.168.2197. It's there, so the machine is running, meaning that we go over VNC to let's actually add, so yeah, FreeBSD 14.2 on Proxmox. Okay, protocol should be VNC. The server 192.168.2197 we just saw. VNC, yes, it's not a VNC, it's RDP, a remote desktop. So we save this and just connect. And now let's resize the window a little bit. Certificates, accept certificate, yes, we accept. And now we log in. Let's log in as root. There we go. And now what we can do is we can click here to resize. So toggle a dynamic resolution update, and there we go. Looks really good. And here the shell, because we selected bash as our default shell, it does appear here. So I could also go for the user TG and do the same thing. So vim start window manager, start xfce4, chmod plus x, start window manager, and now we can disconnect, and when we go here we can go for the user TG. As you can see, the button is already pre-selected, so the resolution should automatically and dynamically be adjusted, meaning that if I resize the window a little bit, yeah, we have an automatic dynamic resizing of the screen. Here, as you can see, we had not changed the shell, so we get this. So change shell. Let's go here and do the same thing. User local bin bash. And now let's log in again. So log out. And let's log in again. TG. And there we go. Starting terminal. And we have our standard shell. So how much do we have? We have 250 gigabytes free. This was okay, top. Okay. How much memory do we have? 60 something gigabytes of memory. All right. I'm just going to do one last thing as a small bonus. So I'm going to log out from here. Log out. And I'm going to show something that is currently not working the way I want it to work. But I think this is a bug in FreeBSD somehow. Let's see. Which is, so I will shut down the machine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to install an ARM machine in Proxmox. So the server is running on an Intel architecture. It has Intel Xeon processors, but it's possible to emulate because this is running with QEMU in the backend. So it's possible to run an ARM emulation. How do we do that? Well, we need to pop a shell first, and we need to configure a couple of things. One of the first things that we need to do is, and vim is not there. Yeah, so vi. Let's go to etc apt and sources dist.t sources I think list, yeah. And what we have here is Debian. Okay, FTP Debian security updates is also good. And let's get so download proxmox.com/debian/pve and bookworm and PVE no subscription. All right, this is the first thing here. The next one is under the sources list. We have the Ceph, which we are going to disable because this is enterprise, and we have the PV enterprise, which is also to be disabled, and apt update. let's increase the size a little bit. Some packages can be upgraded. apt up. Okay, let's, before doing that, install Vim. Can we do? Yes, Vim. And the next thing is install the firmware. So apt install PVE EDK2 firmware AARCH64 and apt upgrade. I think should be fine. We can do the upgrade now. All right, so the server has started again, as we can see. Okay, and here, AARCH64. Let's put the DVD copy link. Download. Okay, so the file is downloaded. Now let's create a new machine, create a virtual machine, and let's give it a name, FreeBSD BSD 142 AARCH64. Next, we do not use any media. We want again a SCSI drive, and this is not giving us the option to select it, or no, not even with advanced. The system, we need here for the graphics card to set a terminal. Here we put a VirtIO SCSI, and in the BIOS UEFI with the storage in local ZFS. Looks good. For the disk, SCSI, a small disk, if you consider this small, actually let's put 32. 32 is fine. I will delete the things afterwards. For the CPU, we don't need to touch this now. Memory 8192 should be okay, 8 GB of memory. Network, and we can also go for the VirtIO para-virtualized. I think that should be fine. And confirm, finish. Now, same for the other machine. We go here in the hardware. We have a IDE CD-ROM that we do not want, so remove. Yes, and we add a CD-ROM with the local storage and the AARCH machine. AARCH. Okay. In the boot order, we make sure that this is the first one, the ISO image. Now we need to pop a console in the system to do some modifications by hand. Okay, this doesn't work here, so it should be a shell. Yes, a shell. And we have to edit the following file: etc pve qemu server, and this is the machine number 101 configuration. So, and we need to add the architecture, so it's not there, so we add it by hand. architecture AARCH64. This part here we can comment out, and the CPU, I cannot type, we can comment out or just remove. Then what we can add is, for example, 2 cores, and we can add sockets. Okay, it's not there, so sockets, we add also 2 sockets, so we have 2 CPUs with 2 cores each. That should be okay. We need some additional thing, which is create the settings for the UEFI. So set 101, the machine, FE disk 0, and local, I think it's called is local ZFS 1, FE type 4M, and format is raw. So this is created. Very good. And now we can start the machine. Let's go to the console and start the machine. Guest is not running. Okay, I might have some problem here. Let's see. So error starting. And bus IDE is not found. What is there asking for an IDE? We should not have anything in IDE. Okay. This CD here was IDE. Okay, that was wrong. I don't know why did it come here as IDE. So we remove. Maybe I did a mistake before. So CD and SCSI. I think I did a mistake before. I didn't mention, didn't see, but as you can see, it cannot use IDE, and that is the problem. Now, on the options here, the boot order, this again needs to go up, and we should now be good to go. So let's lower this thing here and start successful. So it connects to a serial port. So while the machine is starting, I'm just going to say that I was doing some experiments to do a separate video on this configuration. So you're getting this extra to the video on installing FreeBSD on Proxmox. This is a little bit more advanced because we're using emulation, but currently the machine is not working, so it's not really useful. And I was about to give up to show how to install the machine, but I think that the problem is going to be solved in the future. So yeah, why not show it how it's done? If anyone knows how to fix the problem that I'm going to show you, then please leave a comment down below. I tried starting the machine also, so FreeBSD under QEMU, instead of being in Proxmox, it was in FreeBSD directly, and I got the same error. So which leads me to think that this is a problem with FreeBSD. Interesting enough, if I run with UTM on macOS with an ARM processor, everything goes fine, but then it's not emulated. Here, although we are using a serial port, I find that using the X term looks quite nice. So yeah, it looks nice. Some characters are a little bit off, but let's forget about that. So it is a serial port, so we cannot expect too much from this, and whatever implementation is there from Proxmox. So you can see here some characters are not rendered properly. Yeah, but it's at least there are some colors, and yeah, looks good. So let's put a test. And I don't need, just for showing off stuff, the source tree it's just a minimal thing. Also UFS, don't consume too much memory. Entire disk, fine is okay. This is a normal installation of FreeBSD, so there is not too much things new here. The only issue is that this is a little bit slower because it's an emulated machine. So yeah, it takes more time. So here I didn't add any extra users because you're going to see after installing the system, it's basically not really usable. So, but now what we're going to do is to shut down the machine again because of the boot process. We don't want to start over the image to install again. So we shut down the machine and go to hardware, and here we can do not use any media. We can select this option, so, and we remove the media. Now we start the machine, and here you're going to see this is where the problem is going to happen. So the machine is going to boot well, it's going to do everything fine until it starts generating RSA keys. And I have tried lots of different things, but I cannot get it past the RSA key generation. And the machine has some problem with RSA. I really cannot explain it. It's difficult. It's strange. It's strange, and I'm not sure how does it play with system emulation and the RSA algorithm, but it cannot generate keys and it cannot verify certificates. So you're going to see the problem I'm going to show you now. So yeah, now it's so generating RSA host key. So now it's stuck, and I've waited already half an hour. It doesn't pass this point. So the only thing that I find to pass this is a Control C, and then I'm in the main system and I can log in, no problem. So in the system is actually all seems okay. That's what is kind of funny to me. So we can use stop, we can use all the commands. So system control, HW model. This is an ARM Cortex A57. So yeah, it's running on an ARM CPU, but now look, so PKG update, okay, and fetch, and it will fail. It's again RSA. It cannot validate RSA. I cannot explain this. Another thing is OpenSSL speed of RSA algorithm, and it's going to fail again. And I've not been able to pass from here, from this point. So yeah, if you know how to solve this issue, then please leave a comment down below. Yeah, but anyways, I think it's useful information to know how to install the system, but without internet connection now, it's yeah, it's not really useful. So we cannot do too much with the system. And this is why I'm going to just delete this machine, this virtual machine. It's also running a little bit slower than a native machine. That should be clear. But it would be really nice if we could experiment with AARCH64 on a Proxmox server. Currently, it's not, apparently. All right, that's it. So thanks for watching until this point. If you took the time for it, I really appreciate. If you have comments or suggestions, please leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I wish you have a great day, a really nice weekend, and thank you and see you next time. Take care and bye-bye.